Welcome to the Raise Your Energy podcast. My name is Linda Lange and I'm your host and energy expert. In episode 45, I shared with you what it means to be the observer of your life and of yourself and all the benefits that come with it, like a happier life or a more fulfilled life. So a few of you have asked me to talk more about the first few steps to actually take towards that observership and why you actually might be struggling with this when you just get started. So stay tuned for the answers to these questions. If you have been trying to become more aware in your life, or you're wanting to observe yourself more and you might be struggling with it, then please cut yourself some slack. Why would you think that it is easy or that you should be able to learn this in a matter of days? The concept of observing is simple, but it is not easy. If it would be easy, everybody would be doing it, and they don't, right? So, the first message from me to you is stop judging yourself or think that you just can't do it. It's all not true. Everybody can do it, and you just need some practice. It's like with everything else in our lives that we want to learn. Most of us don't learn a foreign language in a week, or we don't learn to play Mozart on the piano overnight. These things need practice. And that is the same with becoming the observer of yourself in your life. Now, let's look at the reasons why you might be struggling with this or why it feels hard to you. And later on in the episode, I will give you 2 ways for you to begin to become more observant of yourself and how you can choose one of those examples to really get going and get started to become the observer in your life. The obvious reason why you might be struggling is that you're just beginning to learn. You might not know really what to do yet, and if what you're doing is correct. It might just feel hard because it is new, and learning something new feels always hard at the beginning. I want you to know that this is a never-ending journey. I'm still learning new levels of observing myself every single day. And I'm never going to finish finding out new things about myself in the process of it. So this is not a race, but rather a marathon. So you start small and then you build up over time with your experience. And what might work at the beginning for you might look different for the next person and might look different for you later on as well. So keep doing the work and try it out in different ways and in different situations, okay? The most important part of this is to stay with it and not give up. If you give up, you literally give up on yourself. And I know you don't want to do that. So keep showing up and keep reminding yourself to move into that role of the observer every time you remember to do it. Now, that was the obvious reason. Let's move on to the other reason that is not so obvious and not so easy to see. You want to become more aware and more observant in your life because you want to change something. If you were not interested in changing something in your life, why would you need to become more aware, right? So I will make this bold statement here and now that you want to change something in your life. And this can be in your private life or in your professional life. This can be about yourself or about another person. Or it is about a habit you want to get rid of or a habit actually that you want to install. Or it can be about certain feelings that you just don't want to feel anymore and rather want to replace it with some better feelings. Whatever it is that you want to change, your body and your mind have become accustomed to the current way you're thinking, acting, behaving, and feeling. Whatever you want to change has grown into a part of your life, your identity, and the way you're living. It means that if you begin now to become more aware and observant for you to be able to change something, your body and part of your mind are not going to be happy about it. Even if the change is beneficial for you and your health, your body and your subconscious mind will want you to keep living your life as you have done for the last 20 years. That's what is programmed inside of you. So it is easy and effortless. That's what feels like you, because it has become part of who you are. And your body and your subconscious mind do not assess something as being bad or good for you. They just like for you to stay exactly how you are and have been. That way, we don't have to spend more additional energy on changing or moving in a direction that we just cannot predict. So, if becoming more aware or stepping into that role of observership feels hard to you, or you think you're just not doing it right, this might be your body influencing you to give up and stay the same. Does that make sense to you? This is what happens when we decide to make a significant change in our life or in ourselves. We come up against years and years of programming. And don't ever underestimate the power of the body and the subconscious mind. Why do you think it is so hard for some people to stop smoking, lose weight, or keep it off and change to a more active lifestyle? Because we are coming up against ourselves, the programs that we created for so many years. And every time we attempt to change and fail, the body and the subconscious mind won. And we just went back to our old selves, to our old ways of living. That's all what happened there. So when you realize that this is what happens when you feel that it's hard, or when you think that you're not doing it the right way, and you truly accept it, you are already not anymore the program. You stepped out of that program and into the role of the observer in your life. Do you see that? That magical moment when you decide to change and not let that old program inside of you win. You removed yourself out of the program and into another version of yourself that is now able to watch that program literally happening. Now you're aware. Now you're wide awake and look at yourself through a new lens. That is what becoming the observer means. So next time you are facing a situation where you want to change something, your thoughts, your reactions, your actions, your feelings, and you realize that it starts to feel difficult, or you ask yourself if you're doing it right, stop yourself. Change your thoughts into, yes, I can do it. I am ready to learn this and I want to change. That is when you have found the exit to that program. You have overcome your body and your subconscious mind and given them a clear message that you are the boss now. Okay, I hope this will help you to move forward and not get discouraged, to give up and believe that it just doesn't work for you. So let's have a look at the 2 ways you can progress your awareness and your observership. I would call these 2 different starting points from where you can get going. You can concentrate your efforts either on your thoughts or on your feelings. Obviously, there are many other ways to increase your awareness and progress in your observership. And I have talked about many different ways in previous episodes. But I selected these 2 starting points for you to implement to seriously get started in this process. So, number 1, if you have quite a busy mind, or you're highly analytical and lose yourself sometimes in the details of things, if you're spending a lot of time and energy thinking about the same situation or worry, then let's use your thoughts to enter your practice in observership. I want you to concentrate on the thoughts that you have during your day. And how can you best do this? By actually writing them down. Now, Going through your complete day and writing every thought down that you have will be very time consuming. I give you that. Fair enough. So I suggest to you that you choose a time of the day to sit down and reflect on your thoughts of the last 24 hours. And here are some questions for you to get going. What thoughts are currently going through my head? What thoughts have kept my mind busy over the last 24 hours? What thoughts do I have that made me feel less happy, less energized, and less hopeful? Anything that made you feel less in general. And what thoughts do I have that I don't want to think any longer? Write down whatever comes to your mind when you ask yourself these questions. Whatever you can observe that has happened in your mind, in your thinking throughout that day. And please do not judge these thoughts. Don't overanalyze these thoughts. If you want to keep writing on them to get them all out and explore them a little bit deeper, sure, do that. But don't overdo it. This is about awareness, not analysis. So keep doing this exercise every day or as many days as you can during your week. With practice, you will get better at spotting these thoughts that you rather want to let go of. And what will happen is that you catch yourself more and more during the day when you actually have these thoughts, because you brought them up to the forefront of your awareness. And at that moment, you observe yourself having this limiting thought. And if you catch yourself, you can stop yourself, right? So what thoughts do you want to rather have? What thought would make you feel more energized, more hopeful and happy, and not less? And the same works for the second starting point, which are our feelings. If you are someone that is struggling more with feelings of worry, anxiety, hopelessness, powerlessness, guilt, shame, frustration, anger, aggression, and fear, then use your feelings as an entry point to become more aware of yourself. And you can do the same exercise as I just described for the thoughts for your feelings. So here are the questions for you if you want to choose your feelings as a starting point. What feelings are currently inside of me? How have I been feeling over the last 24 hours? What feelings do I have that take a lot of my energy, that impacts my mood and my entire state of being throughout the day? And what emotions have I felt that I don't want to feel any longer? Again, write these down once per day. And with that, your observership of yourself will get stronger and stronger. You will begin to catch yourself feeling a limiting feeling throughout your day, and you can decide to stop that feeling and move rather to a feeling of love, gratitude, or freedom. And please decide what feelings you rather want to have in your life for yourself, okay? So both of these entry points are perfect for you to start your awareness practice. Both of these thoughts and feelings create a cycle inside of you that has become a program. And when this program switches on and gets triggered, you can either use your thoughts or your feelings to stop that cycle. So I invite you to choose one of these, either your thoughts or your feelings, and start your daily journaling practice on them. It only takes a couple of minutes a day to raise your awareness and to be able to become the boss of your own mind and your body. It's ultimately your choice when you decide to finally change and use awareness and observership as your secret weapon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope so much that I inspired you to finally make the change that you have been talking about for so long. You know exactly the one that I'm talking about. So if you like this episode, I would be so grateful for your review, a rating, or a thumbs up from you. I appreciate you so much. And with that, I love you and leave you. Talk soon and bye-bye.